Hi, I'm Allie. Join me as I create these Cinco Star earrings that are done as a design by Chris Lewis King from our community group. She sent in this design last month, and I thought these would be perfect to put into one of our kit subscription boxes. So if you have the kit subscription this month, these are in there. If you don't and you would like to check it out, go below the video in the description. That'll give you links to get back to our website where you can buy the individual materials or check out those subscriptions. Gather up your supplies and let's get started. So this month's box focuses on shapes, kind of going back to school. We're going to start with the round trio, which is a round shape. And I have some size 8 dragon thread. 6 or 8 works perfectly. And the first thing I'm going to do is put on a size 10 needle, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of my RounDuo beads. Those 5 RounDuo beads I'm going to let drop down to the bottom of the thread. And I'm going to tie these into a knot. I only need enough thread at the end to tie the original or the project end thread to this original thread. 2 knots there, and I give this a nice tight pull, and that gets you your basically 5 pointed star shape. From here, I'm going to go from the bottom hole of the next RounDuo bead there up to the top hole. So I'm stepping up from the interior to the exterior hole. As I do so, I'm going to add 1 and 2 of my 8 seed beads and then go into the next hole. Once again here, 1 and 2 8 seed beads into the next hole. So I'm going around the RounDuo beads here, fitting in 2 of my beads along the exterior and continuing around the circle. We're going to stay on the interior here, going through the beads, going back through that first RounDuo bead there. Our threaded needle is back at that start spot. And what we're going to do is go in and add some seed beads. We're going to connect one side of our 8 seed beads to the other. We're going to go up through seed bead number 1 of that 8 O's. I want you to add 1 4mm bead. Come down through those 8 that second 8 on that same side. And we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our 15 O's. We're going to go back up through bead number 1 in the next group of 2 8 seed beads. Add a 4mm bead and go down through the second bead in that 8 grouping. Again, 5 of our 15s get added. And we continue that the whole way around the exterior circle. So I'm going to, again, add that 4mm bead right here. And then my next chance that I have, I'm going to add 5 more of my 15 O's. As you see, I'm already continuing to kind of do that star shape here. And bringing these beads in, making sure that the 5 15 O's kind of sit towards the front. As you're doing this as well, you want to try to sit the 8 or the 4mm bead that's between the 8s here so that it's sitting with the hole going side to side. So you can see I've just gone through and kind of moved them a little bit side to side. 5 more beads get added. Up into the next one. And then we're continuing on, adding our last of our 4mm beads, coming down through the second 8, adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 15s, back up through that 8mm bead, that we came out of first. We're right back to where we started now. The first thing we did again was add the 4mm. But instead what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to our second 8mm, or 8 seed bead rather, step up through the 15s. Now the 15 seed beads, where I want to come out is through that center bead here. You can see that center bead is what we're going to use to connect all of our 8 O's together to create this flower. Going up, I'm going to come out of bead number 3 of those 15 O's. So remember we put 5 beads in between. We're coming out through the 3rd bead here. And we're going to pull all of these groups of 5 towards the center of the project. I'm going to get rid of my starter thread, just kind of tucking that tail out of the way. Pull it towards the back. And I'm going to add one of my 8mm or 8O seed beads and go over to the next grouping of 5, go through bead number 3 and pull. Grab another one of your 8Os, go through bead number 3 and pull. And see how that's pulling that tight and in towards the middle. And of course I need just a couple more beads of each size. Going in here, grabbing your beads, going through bead number 3, around through bead number 3. Usually naturally bead number 3 will pretty much sit up towards the center in that V section. Go through that center bead and then also go through the 8O seed bead. Pull that in towards the center and look how nice and easy that becomes a star. I'm going to go through the next 15, the next 8, the next 15, and then at the same time kind of wiggle my needle right down through beads 4 and 5 of my next grouping of 5 seed beads. What that does is takes me away from the middle, which we're done with, and brings me out towards the side. Out towards the side, we're going to go up through the first 8O right before the 4mm bead. And as we do so, we're going to step up and go into the 4mm bead. Add 2 of your 15s and sew through the 4mm bead. 2 15s down through the 8. As I go around then in this circle, rather than kind of being hard here and going up through all my beads, I'm going to go to the back and go through hole number 2 of my RounDuo bead here. As I go through hole number 2 of the RounDuo, coming to the front, I go up through my first 8O seed bead here. As I go through the first 8O seed bead, I grab 1 and 2 of my 15s, go through the 4mm round, give a nice tight pull to bring that hole to center, add 2 more, and down through the 8. When you go down through the 8 and come on out, that decorates the sides of your 4mm bead. I'm then bringing my thread and needle kind of towards the back and sewing through the back of the RounDuo. Because this is a little bit tight, I just kind of push the beads out of the way. Sometimes you can get right through that 8O seed bead. Sometimes you need to bring your needle out after it. We're going to go around adding in our second or our 2 beads to the exterior of our 4mm rounds. If you want to, you can sneak your needle around another time and add in a little point here, going through beads number 1, adding a bead number 2 and adding the 3rd bead here, and then going back through bead number 2. That's another option as well. Did it on one of them. I'm not going to on the second one, just to show some variety. So either way, if you want to take your time and go around again, you go 1, add your bead here, go through again. Again, either way works. What we're going to do after you finish up this design is I'm going to come to the back, go through my round trio just like we've been doing, step up through my 8O seed bead. You can see I'm going again, back, forth, back, forth. As I step up through my 8O seed bead, I'm going to go through my 4mm bead, not through the seed beads at all, and come out the back, add 1 and 2 of my 15 ohms, add a 3rd one for good measure, grab a wire guard, go up through the wire guard, come down the opposite side of the wire guard, 1 and 2 and 3 15 ohms again, go into the opposite side of your 4mm round bead, and that puts your clasp, or the wire guard, right at the top of the design of one of those star points. So you've got those Cinco stars there. and we are going to come down then through. But before we do that, we are going to reinforce. So we're coming out the edge here, back up through the 3 seed beads, leading up to the wire guard. I always like to put a second pass of thread through a wire guard, or really through any clasp. 3 is preferred for bracelets as a rule for me personally. 2 is preferred for earrings through a wire guard. If you can get a third one, that works. But usually, because the earrings are a little bit lighter and don't have as much wear and tear and grab on them as a bracelet, 2 is plenty. Coming out then, go back through that 4mm bead. After you're through that 4mm bead, come down through the 8/0 seed bead on the opposite side. Gonna wiggle your thread and needle through there. Again, I have on a size 10 needle. It would be a little bit easier with an 11 or a 12, but not needed. As I go down there then, I'm going to go in towards my RounDuo bead, going through the outer hole of the RounDuo. Now I'm going to go to the inner hole of the RounDuo. And I'm going to travel around the RounDuo inner hole here through the next couple until my thread and needle line up. When my thread and needle line up to my starter thread right here, I'm going to take that starter thread, grab it. Oh, one more. Sorry, one more. I got excited. Going through one more. Now they're matching and they're in the same spot. Grab one side, grab the other side, and tie a knot. Right over left, left over right. Grab 2 rolls there through. Grab your thread zap and burn down the ends of your Cinco Star earrings. There we go. And then you have these amazing little earrings by Chris. All you need to do is take your ear wire, add it to the top of your design, and your earrings are complete. Such a cute little idea and design. Thank you, Chris, for this. And can't wait to see all of your different ones that you make posted in our Facebook for beading and jewelry making. Thanks once again for the design from Chris King. These are such fun, cool, and easy to make earrings. They're a great way to use up a couple extra round duos that you might have. You could even try your hand at a smaller pair with some round trios. Remember, if you want any supplies or want to check out our subscription options, go ahead and look below the video. In the description, we'll give you links to get back to our site. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because you don't want to miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.